Holy hot chocolate. Ooh, my next guest fulfills those fantasies that some of you guys have about really smart, naughty nurses. She's also one of the first adult film stars that's African American and alternative. At least she's the first one I've seen, but she's drop dead gorgeous. She has her own space downtown in this huge studio that used for like really cool shoots. There's like Coco Chanel section, a 90s video. Anyway, look, what am I doing? Just watch the interview or listen to it if you're on the podcast. Let's welcome Miss Ebony Mystique. So I'm so happy you could join me today. So my special guest is Ebony Mystique. I was extremely excited in having her on here because being partially of color myself, I love having brunettes on here. I like everyone, but especially when it's people of different ethnicities. And you have a very interesting story yourself. Weren't you just in the Urban X Awards?
I was. And
Mhm.
hello, thank you for having me. You're so beautiful. I really
Thank
appreciate the
you.
time. So yeah, I was just at the Urban X Awards and wow, what a weekend.
Yeah, it
It
looked
was
really,
star-studded.
it looked super busy. Like I saw all the photos from there. And how did you even get into this business? Because you're gorgeous and obviously you're smart. I mean, this woman was doing wardrobe on TV shows. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically kind of the same way I got into fashion designing is just who you know, like connections. So I had known legendary porn star Pinky Triple X and her videographer Jeremy for a very long time. He also got awarded this year in the Hall of Fame at Urban X, but for a very long time, and they weren't paying me no mind when I used to joke, I guess, subconsciously about being able to do porn or what they do. But COVID was a really bad time for nurses and just the world and the patients and people. And I was nursing with this whole thing. And it was kind of depressing in my job. It was kind of didn't know which way we were going to go with the world. It just got crazy as we seen, right? But I was a frontliner in the beginning. So it was just really uncertain. But I hit up Pinky again and I'm like, yo, I don't know if you heard about Corona because that's what they were calling it at that time. But girl, we might have to be staying in the house. And everybody was like, what? She was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, but then she kind of, I guess, took me seriously at that point and gave me a shot on her site. And my first two scenes went pretty viral. My third scene went very viral, and here we are now. That was 3 years ago. I just celebrated my porn birthday yesterday.
Woo! Happy
3 years.
birthday. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's
young.
been a wild, fun, creative time.
Now, wait a second. You said you were nursing. So, what people don't know about me is that I work with medical briefly with IV infusions, mobile.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
I ran a company for a while, but that's a
that's amazing.
thanks.
People be needing those mobile nurses, guys. Like when you
Yeah.
out, especially in Las Vegas, and in those hot times in the summer when you're out fist pumping and partying to Drake's new album, you need those nurses. So it's definitely important to. Wow, that's amazing. And the funny part about this, which I just thought about, like think about Halloween, which is coming up. Those girls always want to be those naughty nurses. So that, like kind of where this came.
But you
I
are.
guess I'm really a naughty nurse.
No, you really are. I don't think like none of the nurses I work with look like you. I'm just saying this. So, what type of nursing were you like in a senior citizen home? Because you get a heart attack or something.
I did. I did do some of that. Actually, I was pretty well rounded about the time that I actually kind of retired from the medical field. But I did convalescent home nursing, and at that point, you are more administrative. I was a charge nurse. I worked in corrections. I worked in psychiatric, neuro. I was pretty well rounded. But when I ended, I was in the call center because I just got off the floor of the unit because imagine how things were. And it was almost like kind of God saying, not that I didn't want to continue on with the critical care patients and the corona. It was a very strange time and it was very bad. And so I had forgotten that I even applied to the call center at my job and it came up that I got like an interview during this whole I was like, what? So I went over to advice call nursing. And that's like if you were to call, I don't know, your doctor's office before you get an appointment or give advice over the phone. and give the disposition. So that's what I was doing. And then now here I am doing adult. And
Yeah.
OnlyFans is what made me kind of like, okay, I absolutely can do this. Because after my first scenes, even though they were viral, I still was at work, kind of shy at work, like, but I was still nursing. By
Yeah.
my third scene, I was done. I had retired.
I was gonna say you're probably making like way more money doing that. And what was your first experience like? Is it everything it was supposed to be? Because
It was
everyone's got really bad
amazing.
experiences and good ones.
Right? So, first of all, I don't think there's enough money that you could pay or charge like a frontliner, like a person, like a firefighter, a police officer, if you think of it, good ones. You know, all people can be bad, but in all these fields, but you know what I mean, lawyers or that fight for people, you know what I mean? So the money never really kept me because I would probably leave. It was more like the when I got home and you kind of try to, which some people say don't bring work at home, but like, what could I do? In a good way, though. Like, I felt real commendable. Like, dang, I kind of saved lives today. Like, that's amazing. But it did quite often, it did not work as my changes because some of my, I don't know, my beautifications, I'm totally into glam and things like that. That's totally the wrong field for that kind of thing. Like, if a doctor was to be like, oh, Mimi, you know, you look, which is my name outside of porn, you look amazing. You're beautiful today. That could be like sexual harassment. Like you want somebody to tell you that, but it's just totally not the work field. So my first day on set, I totally gave glam and I totally was comfortable because I shot with Jeremy and it was for Pinky Sight. And it was like, I was almost like, I don't think they think I can do this type of thing. Like I know I got the look, but let me show them I can. And my body did some things that I did not. Wow. And you know what really helped? That's what helped the environment. I think that's really important. My performer, my male co-star Rob Piper, was really professional, amazing. Jeremy was amazing, the director. I just felt amazing. I felt comfortable, and it was all safe. Like I got tested like 2 or 3 days before. I checked his test. I was like, okay. Me being a nurse, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, the first time I ever worked doing a film, it was really scary because this is really like I sound so stupid, but I thought that Peter North was a blonde because I saw this porn film when I was 16. At the end credits, the dipshit, like doing the credits, mixed up the names. He put Peter North under Randy.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. You're
I'm
like,
thinking it's this
oops.
hot blonde guy because I love blondes. That's like my
Me
weakness.
too.
Yeah, right. Big, tall, blonde guys that just like throw
Give
me.
me like Huntington Beach surfer, but like with
Thank
money.
you.
Yeah, like you own the beach house, kind of.
You
Like
gotta
that.
thank you. That is the difference, and not from your parents' money either.
Please, I don't want to be a beach bum with you, but you know the ones that we like. Yeah, yeah. Totally, I get it.
Exactly. It's what you have. It's what you do on your own. But I thought this whole time that it was, it was the wrong person though, nonetheless. So it was very insulting. Um, which brings me to the next thing. So the third time you're going into this, what was that like? And did you just decide this is what you're gonna do and like you hung up your nurse coat?
I did because the first 2 times I was masked, but I was a masked character. They actually took it down because I was hounding them because somebody at my job had kind of let me know that they saw it. And how they recognized me was by my tattoos and my jewel, like the way I was dressed, like my body structure, like, and they know, like, some people knew the affiliation between me and Pinky, like, hello, what are you doing? I was like, oh, shoot, this is exactly what they said that was going to happen, which was the best advice I think I can tell anyone and everyone. Jeremy, I mentioned that once you do this shit, you can't take it back. So we're gonna give you a shot, but just be clear as to what you're doing. And then on such a big platform as Pinky Triple X, like people are gonna see this. And lo and behold, they did, and I got all scary. So initially she did respect my wishes, but then I guess she kept getting emails like, who's the girl in the mask? Who's the girl in the mask? Like, and she's like, look, bitch, check it out. We're gonna have to talk about this, whatever's going on, because they know, and we need to shoot you again. And this time we want you to come take the mask off. I'm like, oh my God. At that point, it was just like, you know what? If you start something, that's the kind of person I am. If I start something, I complete it. That's how I know if I failed or succeeded or not. Got to get to completion. Not halfway through and be like, oh, I did that, didn't work. No, no, I'm going to see it all the way through. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just fuck it. And really, the OnlyFans, the monetization I seen from what I had done financially being stable in that way, I was like, hell, I thought it was illegal. I was like, is this money okay to spend? Like, what's going on? I was able to leave my career, you know, as a nurse, because even me doing fashion design, working with some really A-listers, it's like asking me before, would you leave nursing? I'll be like, no, maybe I'll go like when I get really successful, like maybe once or twice a month. You know, the minimum that they ask you to be a nurse in a hospital, which is like per diem. But I will never leave nursing, like my benefits, you know, that mindset. But I was like, oh my gosh. And I was at 43% tax bracket as a nurse. So to see like, wait, you can own your own business and like write like my hair styling off, my makeup that I'm going for shooting. I like this ownership and independent life a little better.
Yeah, that brings
So
I'm sorry. It's this thing with coffee, so I don't know.
I love coffee.
I know, espresso, yeah. But it just brings me to another thing. So I hate to say this, but it's like sometimes with me, I'll go all over the place, but you'll see what happens if
I'm right with you. I
what we're
got you.
talking about. Are you a Scorpio, by the way?
Oh my gosh, I'm a cuffs. I'm a Scorpio Sag. I'm born 11/23 at like 1 a.m. in the morning. So I just left Scorpio in the Sag. So I'm a cuffs. I
Yeah,
have it. Are you?
I'm a Scorpio. I'm the
Yeah,
1020.
yeah, see? We're sisters. I get it. I'm like right with you. I'm all over it with you. Let's go.
Because some of the stuff you said makes a lot of sense, where finally you have your own ownership. You don't have to worry about benefits for health insurance. You can buy your own. But I watched Rock of Love. So for people listening and watching, because this does go up on YouTube at some point, she actually worked on Rock of Love in the wardrobe department. Now I saw a few seasons of that. Okay. And you get this is going to sound really bad, but it's me saying this, so it doesn't make a difference. I could be an asshole sometimes. There's so many girls I feel that wish they probably had they probably might have your drive, but they don't have your stride to go forward and walk that walk and do it and become their own CEO, become their own boss. So you watch something like Rock of Love, every other freaking girl in there, no, I gave up my career and my everything else to have a family. And no, 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 it's because you had no career. And there's this term I just learned from a nurse I worked with recently.
Look, nurses all over the place.
Right? No, but she used the term homie hopper, right? And it's
Mm.
like when you see a lot of these girls, that's what it reminds me of. Like you're trying to do this, but like you're too busy homie hopping to actually go and do something and make something of yourself. You know, am I wrong in thinking that was the mentality of so many girls? Like they hooked up with these guys, like let's say Rockstar or whomever, thinking that they're going to produce their album. Like you got to have talent to actually do that. Am I right in thinking this, or have I totally lost you?
No, I feel like it just is like the person, because I feel like some men are like that too. Like they be looking for women to kind of, I think it's really about, and to think that a guy is gonna, they'll do for their kid if they a good guy. And the law don't even work like that. It goes where if you get impregnated by a celebrity and you're not a celebrity, they're going to rule in his favor as far as how much he needs to pay to you, which means they're going to look at your income. And if you don't have the income and the needs that he has to get $30,000 a month for a baby, maybe the judge rules that you done submitted all your stuff. We see everything you live by. You bought $3,000 a month, baby. He could be a multimillionaire, but and he's gonna give you 3,000. So you still have to have a job. So to think about your life for a child. That's why God, I think, be doing what he does to certain people and certain women and men, because their intentions are wrong. You know, using the pregnancy or a baby to trap somebody into a luxury lifestyle. I feel like you just gotta go ahead and know who you are and get it. Like that's just period. Like people be all over the place with who they are, what they really want. Everybody want to have money. But the question is like, how much? They don't even know. Or like, what you gonna do with it when you get it? You know, and I just I'm a firm believer that like in due time, like everything, like if God gonna give you everything you need when you supposed to have it. Otherwise, it's gonna ruin the hell out you. Like you just gonna be a hot mess with it, you know? So people just don't see themselves through. They just want to do a million things. And I don't know, one thing at a time and really, really focus on you. Comparing yourself to people too much, I think. Maybe looking at that girl like, well, look at her. But he loved that girl. That's why that girl got that Birkin. You don't know their story. But just because you done jumped in bed with him and you think that you got a one song or a 40-inch wig on, whatever, and he gone a BBL or not, natural, whatever you got you strutting and thinking like that's forever, you got to come with more than just body. You got to have talent. Like you said, some pizzazz, something about you that's special. And that's another thing that Pinky and Jeremy have made me realize when I got into the industry. Let's focus on something about you other than even what we just saw, that like externally before they Mystique, my name in itself, they gave me my name because there's so many layers about me. Externally, it's just you're fuckable. Like that was, and the boobs came from them. Like let's go bigger because the genre now is 18 but looking 16, but we're not getting into that. We want to look like old school porn sexy. No, that's a woman that we looking at having sex, not confused. Is she consented to age or, how things can be, but to each his own. Everybody likes what they like, but just come with a purpose is very important, I think, with anything you do. So these girls or men don't know who they are.
A lot of people don't know who, what, where, why. Yeah, who and why. But it's interesting you said the thing about old school. I just had a guest on last week. My God, is this like a curse right now? So it keeps going on and on. But she said a lot of the things she shoots for her site, it's very old school, like 70s and 80s. And I feel as though maybe that's a direction we're going back into, is hitting up back into the 90s where things were like super glam. And by the way, what size are your implants now?
36 triple D.
Ouch. Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
These
no, I
things
have
are
double D.
huge.
Yeah.
And after I retire, I don't know. It's no pain, but I would like to get back to some sort of normalcy, clothes that fit me normally and like regular bras and stuff.
Not
So we'll see, fans. We'll see where that leads to. Because they can always press rewind.
Yeah,
it's never enough.
Yeah, that's usually not in this type of business, but you have a few things going on, and plus you're also tatted up. So what does it mean for someone like such as yourself to be ethnic and to be inducted into the whole Urban X Awards, to have all the tattoos? And did you win anything? And I feel so bad because I didn't watch
No,
it.
that's okay. I actually did win.
What'd you win?
Hottest ink star when you were just talking about my tattoos. That's funny. But that's part of being a Scorpio, very intuitive. Yeah. So yeah, I won Hottest Ink Star 2022 this year. Very very humbling. Like, and it's more or less letting me know, even though I knew, because again, you have to be confident in yourself and what you're doing first. It's very important, that I think. But that they get in where I'm trying to be given. Like the world is understanding what my assignment is, why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. And I know that it's fan based too. Urban X Awards is totally based on fan votes and stuff. So it's very pleasant to have people like let you know that what you're doing is yes. I mean, if you give a fuck.
Yeah. If that's the big word. Yeah, we didn't have these back when we had like the AVN shows, and those were fun, but the whole goal of like being under contract back then is to spend as much money as you can of the company, the contracts. I'm not encouraging you to do that. Now, a lot of guys are going to ask, I don't want to tell you. Yeah, I didn't say that. I hope you're enjoying the ride on Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair podcast. So if you are, do me a huge, huge favor. Woo! Please go ahead. Go on to Apple Podcast or Spotify or whatever, but Apple's great. give me a nice rating and review, send me a screenshot, and I promise you, I will send you a special goodie bag. So please rate and review Crazy Train with Jasmine St. Clair podcast. And in exchange for that, once I see the DM with the review and your name and address, I will get those gift bags out to you. I'm not going to tell you what's in it.